Kremlin officials are attempting to pressure former U.S. President Donald Trump to abandon his recently imposed 10-day deadline for ending the war in Ukraine and restoring relations with Moscow, according to a report by the Institute for the Study of War, ISW. The ISW highlights that Russian officials have firmly rejected Trump's ultimatum, which calls for negotiations to end the conflict. Instead, Moscow has reaffirmed its commitment to continuing the war. Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, posted on his English-language X account that Trump has no authority to dictate when peace talks should begin. He emphasized that negotiations would only take place once Russia achieves all of its military objectives. According to experts, these objectives likely include regime change in Ukraine, a rollback of NATO's open-door policy, and a weakening of Ukraine's military to a level that would prevent it from defending itself effectively. The ISW also referenced a statement by Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, who reiterated Russia's intention to continue the war in defense of its interests, despite Trump's July 28 deadline, demanding a peace agreement within 10 to 12 days. Peskov acknowledged that efforts to normalize U.S.-Russia relations are currently stalling. While the Kremlin still supports normalization, he noted that progress will require proactive steps from both sides. He also pointed out that the current state of bilateral ties complicates discussions on extending the New START nuclear arms treaty. Changing strategy. Analysts at ISW observed that the Kremlin had previously offered incentives unrelated to the Ukraine war, such as bilateral arms control talks and joint economic initiatives, to gain leverage with the U.S. They interpret Peskov's recent comments about worsening relations and arms control as part of a broader effort to pressure Trump into withdrawing his deadline in the interest of restarting U.S.-Russia cooperation. Nonetheless, the ISW maintains that the Kremlin is not genuinely seeking peace. Instead, it is working to prolong the war in Ukraine in order to achieve greater gains on the battlefield. Trump's ultimatum to Putin. In mid-July, Trump gave Russian President Vladimir Putin a 50-day deadline to end the war in Ukraine. He warned that failure to comply would result in sanctions on countries purchasing Russian oil, a key source of funding for Moscow's military campaign. However, due to a lack of progress, Trump shortened the deadline on July 29th to just 10 days. He also warned that Russia would face secondary tariffs on goods and services exported to the U.S., as well as additional sanctions.